My name is Joe Allen. 4 years ago, I decided to film my adventures in the Ozark Mountains of southwest Missouri. With the help of some of my best friends, the Hunt Company was born. This is our story.
We just found my doe that I shot right over there.
I'm gonna lead off with Jesse's miss because we just showed that episode was about me chasing cocaine, and then Jesse, after I shot my buck, had the baby, Jesse shot at cocaine while I was with the baby.
I'm sunburning.
That's what you get for fishing all day.
I know, man. I get to do it for 2 more days. Woohoo.
So after a handful of, nope, I don't want to say so. I considered myself very fortunate to have shot a buck in early October in 2014, just before my son Hunter was born. Everything was healthy with the delivery, and I knew I would want to spend time at home with my family after he was born. Cocaine was still on Dan's farm though, and he had been seen but not shot at up to this point. Jesse and I had been hunting so much together and scouted together during the summer, and I felt bad that I wasn't able to continue to be with him in the woods, but he was able to find another friend, TJ, who came in and learned a camera on the fly and hunted with Jesse while I was out for about a month. Jesse was finally able to get a shot at cocaine. Meh.
Dan called me when we got in here and said, "Are you in your tree?" Because my dad just dumped a big buck in the corn bottoms. It wasn't 30 minutes later, TJ was filming me, and he says, big buck, and he wasn't lying. That's the biggest buck I've ever shot in my life. That buck was standing at 35 yards, and I shot him for 40, and I hit him high. We've replayed the footage probably 50 times from the tree already, but it's a magical time of the year. I'm looking down at the ground and just kind of spacing out, just thinking of the possibilities, and TJ just says, big buck, really big buck. And I look up, and you could see the whites of his eyes. He's staring right at us, and it was cocaine. I placed my 40-yard pin right on him, and I rearranged it after the shot, and he was standing at 35. And I bleeded, stopped him, released the arrow after I was good and anchored, and my arrow.
You good? Even though we were off to a really good start in 2014 with a ton of does on the ground and a couple of nice bucks, Jesse's miss wasn't the only letdown on bucks. Johnny came to one of my spots that he and I have actually been hunting and scouting for a couple of years, and we didn't really have high expectations in this particular spot because we weren't getting any trail camera pictures of many deer at all, much less any shooter bucks. And right at dark, Johnny turned around and said, "Buck, buck," and he got surprised with this opportunity.
Oh, dang, that's good. That's good. Wow, buddy. It's the second week of October. We're out today. It's probably 75 degrees. It's pretty hot. Hoping to shoot a doe or something today. I just want to bling an arrow. Joe's got this lucky acorn stuff that he's giving me, so he said he shoots a deer every time he uses it. So we'll see what happens. Deer, 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 deer. Right. I got it. I got it. No, if I hit a limb or shot high. Did you miss him? I don't know, man. We'll have to backtrack and look, but I think I either shot high or I hit a limb. I couldn't really tell what it was. He just walked in so bad, I had to turn around and he was right there. I thought he was going to come straight for us and he turned off. Dang it, man. I hope I hit that. We have to look at the footage, we'll see. Definitely hit him high. Gosh. I'm so irritated right now. Opportunity was right there. Just happened so quick.
Yeah, we just got caught with our pants down. I mean, it was both of us really. It was late and we hadn't seen anything. It was pretty hot today and he just showed up.
Just happened to turn and grab my bow and it was just quick. I mean, he come in right towards us and thought he was going to come straight and he just jetted off to the right.
It's frustrating. I mean, trying to film and get footage for a TV show, and it's just, you want to kill as many bucks as you can, and I think this one was pretty decent. We'll take a look at the footage, but.
So it was a quick, I had to pull my bow back instinct, didn't have time to range him. I ranged him, I thought 30, so used my 30-yard pin and pulled back, and Joe had just got on him enough with the camera.
But, I mean, it was just inches. I mean, just inches from hitting a vital.
Right. Let it fling, and we're pretty sure I hit him pretty high. We checked the arrow, and there's just fat. There's a little blood on it, not much, but.
I don't know. It's frustrating. You have to be ready at all times.
We'll come in tomorrow and check the area and see if I can find some blood. Hopefully, by some miracle, I can find him.
After a couple tough misses on some nice bucks, Rick Porter got us going again, putting a doe on the ground, kind of got our spirits lifted, and we knew that we were ready to get back in the game and hunt really hard throughout the rest of the rut.
Have you been filming me? Putting my makeup on, looking in my mirror. You know, I've got all kinds of tags in my pocket. I just need to put an arrow through something, so Ben's behind the camera tonight. I don't know. We'll see. We've been getting a lot of pictures of just some does coming through this area. We know that there's been at least one big buck seen not even half a mile from here. So we'll see what happens, see if one comes through here tonight, and see if we can't put an arrow in one. never come in where you expect them to come in. Ben just happened to stand up. He was watching back there, and he saw legs. And they were about 35 yards. I couldn't see anything other. They came out in a shooting lane that we just cut. I mean, not 2 hours earlier, we just cut this shooting lane. And let me tell you, if anybody tells you you don't get excited shooting a doe like you do get a buck, they're full of it, because my legs are shaking right now. We know the direction she went, so we're going to give it just a few minutes. We'll probably get down. I know she's hit. We'll get down here in a second and get a little light out and try to find this doe. Hopefully I've got the first one down for the year. Bright red blood. I don't smell anything real bad on it. I think I hit her good. I don't think she went real far. We'll see. We'll see if we find her.
It's gotten dark on us. We haven't even started tracking. We got blood right here at the beginning of the woods, but we needed to get some more light. So we've recruited a couple of guys to come help us at least shine some light so that we can try to track this doe. Like I said, when she went into the woods, she was absolutely screaming. So my fear is that she's down here at the bottom of this ravine, which is another reason we got a couple of extra guys.
I think we ended up going about 1.5 miles following this deer. I didn't have a unit of measure on me, but that's my guess. That's what it felt like. We finally find her. She's dead, but then the task of getting her out began. But it's a long ways. Long story short, it was 11 o'clock that night before we finally get her in the truck. I think the guys that came out and helped will never come and help me track a deer again. We had some antics that went on during the drag out that, you know, it just ended up being a really bad night, other than we did find her.
We've been telling the story of how I met Dan in the spring of 2014 and turkey hunted with him, and he invited me to come back and scout the farm for deer. And Dan's one of those guys who just put everything aside for himself and thought of everyone else, and just really did everything he could to put me and the team as a whole on nice deer on his property. And his whole family chipped in and you know, did everything they could to help us with places to stay, butchering deer that we shot. And it was just a class act all around, and it really means a lot, you know, not just for someone to invite you to hunt their land, but, you know, to pitch in and help so much and be so selfless as Dan and his family is. It was truly amazing, the friendship that I was developing with Dan. So after a couple of good opportunities at nice bucks that we couldn't capitalize on, Dan was able to finally get in the woods, and we had a new guy, Cody Deadman, who was coming in and learning how to run a camera and hunting with us, helping me, helping Jesse, helping Dan. And so Cody was running out to the farm and filming Dan, and they had a really exciting morning, and Dan was able to connect on a buck of his own on his own land.
It's November 7th here in Missouri. Got set up in the stand. I had to move the stand around this morning. I've been seeing several bucks in this area right here. It's cold out this morning, got a heavy frost on. The big bucks are on their feet and they're moving, chasing does. Yesterday afternoon got a full moon too, so the deer moving kind of more in the midday, I think, right now. Been seeing a lot of deer from 10 o'clock on, but we still come in and got set up early, and hopefully one will come along our path here. It's pretty good. I think it's a decent 8-point coming underneath the tree. Smoked him. I am so cold. I'm ready to get out of this tree. He crashed down right over there. Thank you, dude. It's nice when I can finally see a deer fall. Are you still recording? Yeah. Okay. Dude, you're like, he's right behind us. I'm like, big buck right behind us. I'm like, what? I'm like, no way. I smell like dope pee so bad right now. It ain't even funny. I've got it all over my hand. He's not a huge 8-point, but I'll eat that tag right before rifle lead. I'm good with that.
After some really nice bucks during the early season and throughout the rut, we knew that we were going to have a really good opportunity at winning the search. We'd been sending in really nice footage. Not only were we killing big deer, but we were getting them on film, telling the story, and we were working very hard at the time on social media, trying to recruit voters and get people involved and tell them about the search that we were appearing on and the TV show. And we really knew at that point that we were going to be strong competitors on the show.
And we love floating down the Buffalo, rocking old Haggard song. And we love the gobble of a turkey and a rutting buck in the fall. If anybody ever asks me why I do the things I do, I blame it on my old dog blues. My family's been farming this county since 1832, and these are the fields my grandpa's grandpa plowed with a mule, and we still work them cattle.